Hey girl, welcome back to the show. It is episode 166. Can you believe it? I cannot. It is so much fun being here with you. I cannot believe I've recorded that many episodes. If you're new around here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you listening to the podcast. And if you're a veteran, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your recurring listen over and over and over again. I love you, girl. In today's episode, we're talking about healing past traumas in recovery and 6 things to remember about your past. Sometimes it is okay to look at our past. And the things that I talk about today are going to help catapult you into your future. Can't wait to share them. Here we go. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you. Because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess, trapped in the destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it. So you can start living your best life as your best self. Hey girl, we're talking all things past trauma. This is an episode that I typically don't touch because I'm going to start off by saying I am not a licensed medical professional. I am not a therapist, but I am a recovered anorexic. I'm an eating disorder recovery coach, and I have helped women just like you recover from their eating disorder. And so today I want to talk about a sensitive topic. It is about our past. It's about trauma. And this is an area that as a recovery coach in sessions, we don't dig up past traumas. That is something that you will work with your therapist. We typically focus on the here and the now of recovery to get you doing the thing. Girl, if that speaks to you and you need accountability, you want more support, and you want freedom, and you're done playing small, I would love for you to hop on over to herbestself.co. Fill out a client application there. I will meet you out there, and we will see if you're a good fit for coaching. But for today's show, I did want to talk about some things to remember about your past. The past teaches you so many things. The deepest, the hardest, the darkest pain, girl, that you've been through in this life is most often what is going to catapult you. Listen and hear me. It is what is going to empower you into your highest and your best and your truest version of yourself. Okay? So I do want to talk about trauma. Trauma is a deeply distressed and disturbing experience that truly overwhelms your ability to cope. And the American Psychological Association defines it as a response to a horrific and terrible event. I'm going to give you some high level on trauma, okay? But I do encourage you to work with a therapist. Trauma can be both acute, which means it can be a singular event, or it can be chronic, which means it is ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. And it is subjective, which simply means that what might be traumatic for me might not be traumatic for you or for someone else. Types of traumas that are commonly associated with eating disorders are childhood abuse, physical, emotional, sexual abuse, bullying, or living as an outcast because people have ostracized you, body shaming, weight stigma. Maybe you've had a loss or grief in the past, or maybe an accident or medical trauma. There are intergenerational or cultural traumatic events that happen. But what I wanted to hone in on today is how frequent these things coexist with eating disorders and how eating disorders actually morph from trauma. It's like a breeding ground. Researchers believe that roughly 25% of those with eating disorders also meet the criteria for post-traumatic stress disorder. And 81% of people with an eating disorder had at least one traumatic experience. Isn't that wild? 81% had a traumatic experience. 68% agreed that this traumatic event took place before any eating disorder symptoms in their life. So maybe that's you. Like me, I had a traumatic event happen, and yes, it was a singular experience, but over time, I also was feeding into culture and body image beliefs and rules and dieting and all the things. And that plus this acute traumatic event that happened with my performance and auditioning for a skating company, it did something to me in which I internalized that into a coping mechanism. This is where, if you've dealt with any traumatic event in your life, it is a slippery slope because we turn to eating disorder behaviors as that coping mechanism and that role of control that it gives, or that false illusion that it gives. And it really is an attempt. It's an attempt to control when the world is spinning in chaos around you. For me, it was a way to turn to numbing out because I was extremely restrictive. It felt like if I can control this one thing, if this secret is just mine, no one can touch it, no one can take it from me, and then maybe I will just be enough. Maybe I will be perfect and I will be enough. This is why trauma-informed care is crucial to recovery, and seeking support is so extremely important for you. But while you can't go back and recreate the past, and again, that is not part of recovery coaches' scope of practice. So it's really looking at the here and now, because that's all we can change, right? We can't go back and recreate the past. We can't change the past. We can't go back even if we would want to. You can learn from it. It can be your biggest teacher. And that is such an amazing part of this process. So I have 6 things to remember about your past that are going to inspire your journey to recovery. And this is not to sit in the place of trauma. This is not to bring up any triggers for you. This is to inspire your healing journey. Okay, that is what I do. That is where my zone of genius is. It's not to rewrite the script. It's not to go into the why we're here. Okay, yes, the why matters, but what are we going to do about it now? Because this is the time we have now in the present and the future. Number one thing to remember about your past is that it doesn't exist anymore. Some days it can feel real. You can feel like you're in this cloud, this jaded place, because healing is not linear. You're going to have progress. You're going to let go of past events, and you're going to let go of traumas, and then they might come back up and you have setbacks, and that's okay. This is normal to have good and bad days, and it's normal to have good and bad memories. Number 2, your past doesn't define you. Sis, your experiences, yes, they all shape you, but they do not define you. You have the power right now. You hold the key right now to grow and to evolve and to change into the version of you that you want for your life. Only you have that power. It is so special. Your past doesn't define you. Number 3, your past can only serve as a teacher. It can only serve as a teacher. Whatever emotions and whatever experiences you've had about your past, those are valid. Like, you're allowed to feel those things. Maybe you grew up in a cruel and an awful environment, or maybe you had a great childhood and you poured your all into a relationship that didn't work out and you felt alone. Or maybe you've tried to prove with academics and a high-performing vibe your entire life that you were worthy because you were the best. But sis, there's no right way to feel about your past experiences. It's what you do right now that matters. It's what you do next. It can only serve as a teacher for you now. So it's time to take that step to do the next right thing. Number 4, your past doesn't have to block your future. It doesn't have to prevent you from showing up. It doesn't have to stop you. Seeking help is a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. And sometimes we will sit with our past playing on repeat and we're like, well, I got dealt an awful hand. So what do I do next? And the important part of this is to realize that whatever has happened, whatever comes up for you when you think about your past, it doesn't have to block where you're going. It doesn't. I don't care how many times you've been down this recovery road. I don't care how many times you've made promises to yourself that you haven't kept. You can reinvent. You can recreate. You are a creator. That's why we were made to create, to evolve, to adapt, to learn, and to grow. Number 5, you can hold on to your past, but it may lead to reliving your past. And so if you're feeling stuck, I want you to remember this. Your wound is not your fault, but your healing is most certainly your responsibility. And your memories, they can be imperfect too. Trauma can affect how you actually remember events. And I hear this a lot in our recovery space. I'll have clients that come to me and say, I'm just scared I'm going to miss how my body was then, or I'm afraid that I'm not going to like this new version of me, even though I'm excited to see who she is and experience a life without being chained to food and food control taking over my life and excessive exercise taking over my life. But what if I miss that version of me? What if I feel like holding on to that? And it's valid. Those feelings are valid. All those things are valid. But it's only because you haven't envisioned a life free from it that you actually feel you're going to miss it. I have yet to talk with one recovered person yet that actually misses that past version of themselves. And if you're holding on to memories that maybe you're reliving them because you are scared to move forward, one thing to understand is that holding on is a way of protecting ourselves at times, but you can't go back. You can't go back. The only thing that holding on is doing is it is keeping you in quasi. It is keeping you stuck. It's keeping you in the struggle. And so I encourage you today to look inwards. Am I in the struggle? What do I need to release? What comes up for me that I need to say, you know what? It's time to go. Number 6, the past version of you deserves love and deserves understanding and deserves forgiveness. You did the best that you could at the time. Girl, you do not need to judge your past self with your current wisdom. You do not, I repeat, need to judge your past little self with your current wisdom. You now know better, so you can now do better. And it's important to recognize that you were doing what you needed in the moment to survive. You aren't damaged. You're not broken. Nothing needs to be fixed, including your body, and you are worthy of healing and recovering. And you can. You can. But forgiveness has to be a part of that equation. In the aftermath of traumatic life events, you might struggle with denial. You might struggle with some anxiety, and you might have flare-ups and triggers and flashbacks and isolation from other people. This heightened, intense emotions that come from day to day. Part of that is the process of letting go. Part of that is closing the door. Part of that is grieving that part of you, that identity shift. Who are you without the eating disorder? You might even feel like the skin that you're living in doesn't belong to you, and that's okay. But this is a result of that urge to control and to change and to punish and to restrict. But I want you to know today, friend, that you can choose a different path. It's time to unfollow, unfriend, delete the past stories and the past version of you that can't go with you to where you're headed. Healing these past traumas and recovery is such a part of healing in life and in recovery, and it does require that forgiveness for freedom. But I also believe that if you look at where you are right now and you look at everything that's gotten you here, this can be your greatest triumph in your life, is by going, that served a purpose for me. That is what I turned to. Gosh, that was really hard going through that situation, or being told those things, or believing those lies. But I can put it down now because it's not going where I'm headed. The deepest and the heaviest and the darkest of your pain, sweet friend, is gonna be what catapults you into your highest and to your best self. I believe you deserve nothing less in your life. And I believe that no matter what trauma you've experienced or what you're going through right now today, you're still worthy of a life free from the pain. And so if you're holding on, ask yourself, what am I holding on to and why? What can be released? What needs to be forgiven? Because sis, your healing is your responsibility. And I think you're ready for it. I hope today's message has encouraged you, inspired you to really think inward. Instead of living in this outward world of body image and appearance and what everyone looks like and what everyone is comparing everyone else to, how can you show up in your authentic truth and just be? It's your day to be. It's your day to express your authentic you. And I cannot wait to see what this simple message does for your life. We are coming up on our anniversary of the podcast, 1010. Cannot wait for that. It has been such a journey, sis. And if you've been on this journey with me, I just want to say thanks. I hope you are a part of our email list. You can come on out to herbestself.co and get on the email list because we have some fun things in store. In addition to a new service that I'm going to be providing to all of you. And I cannot wait to launch that in the upcoming months. So, friend, I just want to encourage you today to shine a little brighter, stand a little taller, and remember that your past has been there to serve a purpose that is going to be so grand for you as you take it with you in your present and your future. Come find a friend out in our private Facebook community. You can do so at herbestselfsociety.com. I'll see you real soon, girl. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.